while I still have a chance to mention this, I've noticed that in some of the previews, they do say, this week, the Mighty Orbots. So maybe the group individuals are technically the Mighty Orbots, but they generally leave the mighty off, or maybe that part was written before they decided on everything, or maybe the actors weren't told and they accidentally added I don't know. But point is, episode 12, Operation Eclipse. The Orbots are accompanying a fleet going to the capital planet of the, was it Galactic Council? Something like that. Anyway, they've got a conference, and then this ship comes by and buzzes them, and they form Mighty Orbots, and then a guy in the ship hits them with a ray that causes them to separate, and it turns out it's Drennan, an old friend of Rondu, who talks like this, and has great mental powers. That's how he caused the Orbots to separate. And he's got this new defense system for the capital planet, this force field that's impenetrable, and everybody trusts him and believes him except Rob, and he sets it up, and then he talks to the Galactic Council about it, and it turns out he's working for Shadow, and this energy field actually drained all of their defenses, except the Orbots somehow. So, Rob manages to escape, and so do Rondu and Dia. They use Drennan's ship, which of course wasn't affected by the energy drain. So, actually, good idea there. I think a lot of shows would have just forgotten about that. Well, they form Mighty Orbots, and then he hits them with another ray, except this one's permanent. Now they can never form Mighty Orbots again, and then they put them in a prison because they can't very well kill them. It's Saturday morning in the 80s, and the walls and ceiling are magnetically shielded. Guess what's not? Yeah, the floor, so they drill their way out. Show, you were doing such a good job, except for a few unnecessary bits of narration from Gary, but anyways, Rondu gets the idea that if he gets close enough to Drennan, he can use his magical mental powers to overcome and counteract Drennan's, and he eventually does. He beams onto Drennan's ship, I think the Shadow flagship. Umbra is moving the Shadow Star into place for the capital planet, and if he does, he'll rule the galaxy. Yeah, okay. Drennan's ship is not shielded against matter transmitters, as Rondu beams in there, and they have a mental battle, and Rondu wins, and they form Mighty Orbots, and then the Shadow Star retreats. Overall, a good episode. A few things like, gee, that was rather convenient that the floor wasn't magnetically shielded, but overall, decent episode. So we've just got one more, episode 13, and I've heard that this show has a conclusive ending, which kind of makes me wonder a little bit because I keep reading about it being canceled, or at least not renewed for a second season. So I'm guessing that the ending isn't definitive. Certainly not like Ideon. Okay, how many things have as definitive and conclusive an ending as Ideon? But I'm guessing that either Umbra and Shadow are defeated, but next time they'll come up with a new enemy. Or maybe they're not actually defeated, they just retreat, and they might be back sometime, or they might not be. Oh, the show isn't renewed? I guess they were definitively defeated. Or perhaps he's sealed in another dimension, or perhaps he is apparently destroyed, but we're not certain. So, guess we'll find out soon enough. Am I still going to watch it today? I've got an audition at 6, and don't want to drive in 5 o'clock traffic, but it's about 4 now, so I think I can I'll maybe get ready and then see how much time I've got left, huh?